Well, old Bannon at it again. Bannon, the one that they threw him out, the White House strategist last summer, the former, neo-Nazi Bannon. Remember him?
Yeah.
Right. They say he's remained in touch with Trump, and some of the members of Trump's circle is pitching a plan to the West Wing aides to congressional allies to cripple the federal probe into Russia's interference in the election in 2016. They say the first step would be for Trump to fire Rosenstein, who oversees the special counsel for Mueller's investigation. And they said in the recent days signed off on the search warrant that went on Michael Cohen. So he got to fire Rosenstein. That's the first step. They saying that, let me see.
Four people familiar with the discussion.
Bannon is also recommending the White House cease in cooperation with Mueller, reversing the policy of Trump's legal team to provide information to the special teams counsel to allow the staff members to sit in for interviews. They said the president wasn't fully briefed by his lawyers on the implications of not invoking executive privilege. That's what Bannon told them. He said it was a strategic mistake to turn over everything without due process, and executive privilege should be exerted immediately and retroactively. He said Trump, who forced out Bannon later this year, saying that Bannon had lost his mind after leaving the West Wing, would be willing to take Bannon's advice or is aware of the plan. Several Trump aides also remain skeptical of the former strategist's attempt to insert himself in the president's decision-making process. If you say his name in front of the president, it's not a pretty sight, said the senior administration official. The president really goes off about him. Nonetheless, Bannon's efforts significantly the growing pressure from the influential wing of Trump's political base to get rid of Mueller, who many Trump allies believe presents an existing legal and political threat to his presidency. Trump boosting the Congress and preparing to take the legislative action against Rosenstein, other than the justice officials. So they're gonna bring the fight to Rosenstein, I guess.
They would say that Trump's going to fire Mueller for what, a year? He's not
He can't fire him, but like Bannon said, that he should go after Rosenstein, who was you fire Rosenstein or take action against him. He's overseeing the right. So firing him would be the step to go because he's the one that pushed to have the investigation into to the lawyer Michael Cohen. And they said they should have invoked, executive privilege in that situation. That should have, he got bad advice.
He's not going to fire him.
Well, Bannon's blaming Trump team too for giving him bad advice. The White House aides. That's who he's blaming. Executive privilege. The Mueller's interviews with the White House officials over the past year, that should have been a null and void. He's like, if he was just if he was fully briefed by his lawyers of the implications of not invoking executive privilege. He's like, he wasn't fully briefed. He should have put in executive privilege. That way, that would have stopped this a long time ago, this investigation.
He done that, he was just like, he's trying to hide something.
Yeah.
Whatever he does, he's going to do this. They're going to find some fault.
He said it was a strategic mistake to turn over everything without due process. He said he should have never done that.
I just wish everything was complete. Let's finish the investigation. You can move on.
They say Trump is still furious with the Mueller probe. Said Wednesday he blasted on Twitter, never ending corrupt. And he also considered firing Rosenstein, who he criticized for approving. Yeah.
I don't believe all these articles that say what sources say this. It's like
Bannon and his allies sense that Trump simply needs a nudge just to fire Rosenstein.
all these stories, sources say current and former members of
They said Trump has recently told his friends and aides that he's willing to engage in political warfare in the coming months to stop his presidency from being consumed by the investigation. Bannon's conversation included a meeting Tuesday night between the former strategist and Trump confidants. So far, they have remained through the back channels. The 64-year-old strategist is huddled in recent days at the Capitol Hill townhouse, a Washington hotel, and over the phone with a handful of Washington White House aides. A guy leaning on a mop over at the Justice Department may be the guy who ends up filing Mueller. A guy leaning over a mop at the Justice Department may be the guy who ends up firing Mueller. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she spoke out about it, about Trump being, would he be able to push out Rosenstein? She's like, I don't have any personal announcements. And she's offered no words of support for Rosenstein. If Rosenstein was fired, his replacement could reel in the authority that Mueller was granted last year and set new parameters for the scope of the Russia investigation, according to Louis Seidman, a constitutional law professor at Georgetown. Depending on how aggressive the person wanted to be, they could dismiss the criminal cases just like that. They could get rid of the grand jury, Seidman said. But in the end, if Trump is determined, the people he appoints could shut it down. When they step on your toes, shut it down. Shut it down. When they step on your toes, shut it down. Oh, good morning, man. This your favorite new channel? I appreciate it, Mr. Sledge. No, I didn't see him in a dress. No, I don't think I want to see that either. Yeah, I'm still trying to fix issues with my main page. So let me deal with that. I got to talk to these people again. So they've been having problems with my page since forever. So-called issues. It's nothing but spammers. Everything that guy does, I don't really speak on. Like he said he was retiring. I didn't speak on that at all. So not everything he does gets my attention. I really don't like talking about him. Period. Mace brought him up. Mace brought up the fact that he liked him, and that's when we got into the discussion. So that's how that went. But I got to get ready to get out of here. So let me go ahead and do what I got to do.